This video will be the odd problems on pages 5-3 and 5-4 of our notes. So you're going to see two different types of problems when we do our two-step equations. The first one will have multiplication or division with our variable and then addition or subtraction. So they call that the P and the Q. Essentially, you will always undo the addition or subtraction first in this and then multiply or divide. If you look on the back and down at the bottom, sometimes you're going to have what I call big fraction problems. So this one actually you get rid of the division first by multiplying. So once in a while you're going to multiply first, but as a rule of thumb you will almost always multiply or you will almost always add or subtract first. So if we look at number one, what you need to ask yourself is what numbers do I need to get rid of? Again, if it's helpful to put the line down there, you need to get rid of the 9 and the 2. We want to get rid of the 2 first. Your multiplication or division will be your last step for these. So to get rid of the 2, it's a minus 2, so I need to add 2 to both sides. So you write it right underneath the 2, and then again on the other side of the equal sign. So those cancel out. You're left with 9a equals negative 63. So 9a means 9 times a, so to undo multiplication, we divide by 9, a equals negative 7. When you check this in your calculator, you will simply type in 9 times negative 7 minus 2, hit your enter sign, and it should give you negative 65. Number 3, we notice we have a 3 and an 11 to get rid of. So the 3 is what's being divided by, and then we have the 11 that we're subtracting. So we need to get rid of the 11 first. So we need to add 11 to both sides. Those cancel. You're left with k over 3 equals 6. That means k divided by 3, so to undo divide by 3, we need to multiply by 3. K equals 18. So again, if you wanted to check, you would do 18 divided by 3 minus 11 to make sure you get negative 5. Number 5, we need to get rid of the 11 first. Okay, we have the 8 and the 11. You're going to get rid of addition or subtraction. So we add 11, 8m equals 0. You didn't do anything wrong if you get a 0. This just means 8 times something has to be 0. Well, that something then has to be 0. If you're not sure, you can actually do 0 divided by 8 in your calculator and you will get 0. 17 is a tricky one. It looks like we only have to do one thing, and that's get rid of the 19. Getting rid of the 19 is a little bit tricky. Most of us see this subtraction sign and think we need to add 19. But if we add 19, all of a sudden we get 38 over here when we need to get 0. So that step is actually wrong. You need to see that's a positive 19. So to get it to cancel, we need to subtract it from both sides. The other thing you need to see is that's a minus sign that comes down with the x. That doesn't go away when you get rid of the 19. Usually we don't write anything in front of it because it's just a positive. Okay, but this one has to have a negative in front of it because that minus sign comes down. So equals 11. Now, if we look back up at number 5 or number 1, we knew to divide by the number in front of x. There is technically a number in front of the x. It's a negative 1. So you need to divide by negative 1 and get x equals negative 11. If you had positive 11 for your answer, when you plugged it back in to check, you would get 8 instead of 30. So that's why you always check your answers to make sure you get it correct. Number 9 just has a decimal, but we work with it the same. We need to get rid of the 9 first. So minus 9 to cancel it, minus 9. 0.4x equals 2. These two are being multiplied, so to undo multiplication, we divide. So divide by 0.4 0.4. And we get x equals 5. Number 11, again, what do we need to get rid of? The negative 0.8 and the 14. We need to get rid of the 14 first. So minus 14 from both sides. V over negative 0.8 equals 25. Then we need to multiply by negative 0.8. Okay, over again means divide, so to undo divide, we need them to cancel. You have to multiply. So that should give us V equals negative 20. "13 is scary with the fractions, but again, one thing at a time. You need to get rid of the 9 first. So to get rid of plus 9, we need to minus 9 from each side. Negative 10 equals negative 5/8 C. Remember, when there is a fraction that's being multiplied, we have to multiply by the reciprocal. So times negative 8 over 5, because the 5's cancel and the 8's cancel. So times negative 8 over 5. C equals positive 16. So in all of those, you're going to get rid of the addition or subtraction first. Kind of the number that's off by itself, you get rid of first, and then the number that's attached to the C, whether that's being multiplied or divided, that's what you get rid of next. Now, these next ones are opposite, okay? You have a big fraction, I call it. So the 6 is actually what we need to get rid of first because it's kind of by itself. All right, so to get rid of 6, we have to multiply by 6. That cancels it. You don't distribute the 6 to the x and the 1. You just times by 6. X minus 1 equals 12. Then you need to get rid of the 1, so we need a plus 1, x equals 13. When you check these, there's 2 ways you can do this. If you just type it straight in, you're going to get the wrong answer. All right, so you can either do 13 minus 1 equals, and then divide by 6 to make sure you get 2. Or you can do 13 minus 1 in parentheses and then divide by 6. And you should get 2 either way. So this would have said equals 12 divided by 6. For 17, we need to get rid of the 16 first. So I need to times by 16 times by 16. So negative 48 equals k minus 5. Then I need to add 5 to get the k by itself. K equals negative 43. So your job is to always get the variable by itself by undoing what is happening to it. Usually you will add or subtract first and then multiply or divide. But the exception to that rule is when you have this big fraction. So you have to get rid of the bottom number first to get rid of the fraction.